It does not work for me. I fall flat on my head. And the teacher, they used to test you and get you up in front of the room, had that tyranny, get you to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. Teachers used to be evil, y'all. They used to be so evil. All right, we're just about ready to go. Let me get my comments going. So, oh, you know what? I forgot. There actually is a way. If you're watching on YouTube, Periscope, or other places, I have a way. I'm working on some technology where you can actually see the comments, what's going on here. So on Facebook is usually where I tend to spend most of my time. I'm doing my best to try to get them to embrace free speech and love again. They're not listening yet. They're not listening, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep pushing Facebook. All right. I think that's so weird. Hearing yourself speak. You ever hear yourself speak? I hate hearing myself speak. But anyway, I think I sound weird. Let me get that. I think we're ready. All right. What's happening in the world today, y'all? Oh my goodness. Oh by goodness. Oh by goodness. We might have some good news, man. Looks like looks like the United States might be losing. He's starting to break out, but they're gonna fix that. They not Congress. They ain't going for that. We have a foreign policy that just does not allow for peace. It's just not gonna happen. Trust me. So we'll have to check that out. But I was thinking about it. A friend gave me a call yesterday talking about how just crazy stuff was happening and people were arguing in her family over the shooting and false flags and all that stuff. And I just me, like I said, I don't take a position. I don't take a position on anything unless I know it to be fact. I'll make some commentary on it. I'll tell you what I think, but you will never get me taking a position, a staunch spot in anything unless I know it's true. Because I don't like to be wrong. Being wrong, because nowadays they make you look silly when you're wrong. They like play the video with you saying this and that and that. You can't take yourself too seriously. You just have to be able to laugh at the stuff. Um, but so I was thinking about it. I was thinking about people arguing and fussing and fighting over all this stuff that happens in places ain't none of us at. None of us are there. None of us have any of the information, any of the records. The FBI ain't gonna talk to us. Nobody knows a damn thing. And people get to arguing and fighting over speculation. And it's crazy. And it's not even like close speculation. It's like speculation from like 800 miles away and don't know nobody who lived there. But I just don't know why people argue over over stuff that they couldn't possibly know. So I don't get that. So I don't take any positions unless it's based in some facts that I think are pretty solid, not fact-ish, but based in a fact. But so I was thinking about it. Families arguing over what's happening in the world, the news, which is always lying to us anyway. And so they're not speaking, they're cussing at each other, going back and forth, something like that. And I'm just sitting here like, you know what this looks like? This actually looks like the United States and Syria. It kind of looks like the United States because they always do something dumb. They always take a position on something that they couldn't possibly know. Whether you believe that America is like lying and everybody into all these wars, or if they just actually have no damn clue of what's going on in the ground, they just like to fight. But either way, they don't have any facts, and they always take a position. What's the brother's name? The brother's name with took the Iraq pictures and like, look at this. It was like a truck in some dirt. And it's like, that's a nuclear weapon. Colin Powell. And we all fell for it. We all, oh my God, they got nukes flipping out. At some point in time, we have to learn to not have a friend policy that mimics foreign policy. This is what I'm thinking. Listen, don't have a friend policy that resembles a foreign policy of a government you're constantly chastising, right? If this government has an anti-war, a pro-war foreign policy, you can't have a pro-war family policy because then you look like a hypocrite. So anyway, that's not what I was talking. So I was watching some stuff this morning, crazy stuff, scared the hell out of me. Scared the hell out of me. You see this picture behind me? This is some crazy, evil nonsense. Just pure, just craziness. You won't ever get me in anything that looks like that. I don't care. You got the girl in the water and see the guy next to the girl, because at war and like, so okay. Let me tell you something. I like to say that love makes the world go round, and it does. And it mostly starts with pretty women. Because they make everybody chase after the money, and then they make you start wars and blow up and kill, murder people, all kind of silliness. Why do you think men buy cars? Why do you think they buy massive houses? Why do you think they buy all these clothes and nice shoes, gaiters and socks and stuff, and they try to match the socks? Why do you think men do that? They do it for love. That makes the world go round. Why do you think they put on so much damn cologne? 8 cars back, you can smell what kind of cologne the guy 8 cars in front of you can smell, because it's a pretty girl at the office. That's why. Love make the world go round. But I'm gonna tell you this, love ain't give me that damn pool. You see that? Because the guy, he's sitting right there. These are these balcony pools, y'all. These are the ones where let me show you some of these pictures. Y'all seen these, because they'll put them out there and y'all see people swimming in them. Everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to live like the rich. Just swimming in a pool, get your little selfie, and you can see the street behind you, swimming in a glass pool elevated above a hard concrete road. I don't know why y'all do it. This is nonsense. Like this. Like, here go another one right here. Some more craziness. Why people want to die doing crazy stuff? Like right here, look at this. This is the Grand Canyon. And they got the glass, the evil thing. It's like a torture chamber. It's kind of like the gulag. They kind of put you out there and they make you walk around and you're on a glass bridge and all you see is death below you. You won't ever get me on that. That will just never, ever happen. I'm about to show you why. But this is some craziness. Here go another one right here. Look at it. And they're selling them too. You can go, there are companies that make these now. You can get a glass pool on the side of your house. You can get a glass pool 800 feet up in the air. But don't invite me to the party. Well, actually, no, I don't invite you to the party. I go to the party, but you ain't gonna get me in that pool. That's crazy. I have a religion other than Christianity called don't die doing dumb stuff. The Christian part is don't do dumb stuff while Jesus coming back. Don't be with the conservatives cheering war and murder and death and robbing people and taking land from the Palestinians. That's my number one rule. That's my number one Christian rule. Don't get caught when Jesus come back with your fingers in the blood cookie jar. Don't do that. That's bad. That's not gonna work out good for you. It's a failing strategy. And the other one is don't die doing dumb stuff. You will not see me in this one. This is in the building. And so, but when the glass break, where do you think all that water is gonna go? That water is gonna find its way to the street and it's gonna take you with it. You can't stand up in those 6 feet of water that's funneling out that window because the glass broke. It's not going to happen. You know what the thing is with technology, man, and his technology? It always fails. Like, process this for a minute. Yeah, I know Elon Musk sending up all these missiles right now. One of them going to fail, right? He's showing off. He did his thing. This is what men do while the world go around. It's love. He took his zipper down. Zoop. He's showing off right now and shooting rockets every single day to show everybody in the world he can do this. But one day, one of them gonna fail. And one day, that's gonna fail. It's like the AI car. We were talking about the AI car the other day, the self-driving cars. You know, it's like, yeah, well, you know what? This is neat technology. I can't wait to get on it. The people who died in them don't say that. The brother who was on the cliff in California and the damn car said, oh, just bump it. I am not doing this no more. This is some slavery. I ain't driving you. And the car drove him the hell off the cliff. Yeah, that's not going to be me. That's not going to be, I'm not going to be, if you ever like Mount St. Helens, like whatever you got to do to live, God bless you. Go for it. Go do that. You know, but I'm not going to be on Mount St. Helens like this. You know, you because at Mount St. Helens, they got, how many people they got up there? Is that the biggest mountain in the world? Is it Mount St. Helens, where you go up there and they got like 800 bodies all over the mountain like this? I'm like, why in the hell would you want to die and people look at you in some colorful clothes? No, burn me up, you know, put me in a vase or something, sprinkle me in the ocean or in a beautiful mountain or something, put me in the ground or something, let some microbiology do something with me. Because you know what's crazy? I think about when the aliens come here in probably like 1,000,000 years, because they ain't coming now, not while y'all ignorant people acting stupid. When they come here, they gonna see all these frozen people up on Mount St. Helens. Is it Mount? No, that's the volcano. What's the name of the big mountain everybody climb up? The guy said, I climbed up the mountain to live. The big mountain. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And everybody frozen and dead on the mountain with some goggles on and the breathing like this. I don't want my mama to see me like, and I don't want no aliens to come down. Was there any life on this planet and come down, see me frozen, you know, the clothes breaking down, and you know, a wolf or something came down, ripped my pants off, dingling hanging out frozen, and you know, and it's cold. All right, I'm not gonna go there. Turtle, go back up in the shell. All right, cold water. Listen. Who was that comedian? He said he went in the water, got in the pool water, and he said, no, it's straight, it's just cold. It's cold. All right, let me stop. That went way the wrong way. So anyway, I am not going in that pool. That ain't never gonna happen. That ain't never gonna be me. And let me show you why. There's some craziness. People do I don't know why people do what they do. Let me show you why. Man and his technology always breaks down. And this gets down, you could talk about nuclear weapons. Eventually, a nuke is gonna fire. If everybody keeps making nuclear weapons, because America keeps making some damn nuclear weapons, lying to y'all saying, oh, we're gonna proliferate. They can't even spell proliferate. But then again, I can't spell proliferate neither. That's not the point. The point is they ain't proliferating nothing. They're making more weapons, they're upgrading nukes every single president. So everybody else is doing it. And everybody's like, oh, no nukes, no nukes, no nukes. But then they're voting for the people who making nukes. I'm not gonna say the names. They're cheering the presidents and the Congress and they keep reelecting them, but then they go out and march again. No nukes, no nukes. And it's just like, man, you gotta open your eyes. We all gonna die, y'all. We gonna die. I'm gonna die smiling though. Damn it, if I'm on that mountain and the alien comes to see me, we be like, damn, they all look like they got messed up. They was on the mountain frozen and the nuclear bombs went off and everybody got eviscerated, but the frozen people on the mountain, and this one dude, he just smiling under the mask like, ah, damn it, I knew it was coming. You dummies, I knew y'all stupid as the day is long. All right, so let me show you this. I'm off running my mouth, having some fun. There's some good news today, y'all. It's some good news. Not the first one, though. The first one, this ain't good news. This is some death and destruction. Hold on, let me show you this here. Let me see if I can find this. People, my goodness, yesterday was hugging trees. Look at this right here. This is just crazy. I don't know what people be thinking. Hold on. Don't worry about the language. Don't worry. She just said, just go get the chicken. She said, get some chickens. Hold on, watch this. I know, black person saying chicken. I don't eat none. So there go your stereotype. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't watch this whole video. You know what? Let me see if I can fix this for you. I didn't watch this whole video. I couldn't watch it. I get too scared, y'all. I am well in touch with my fear bone. I got a fear bone. And when I get scared of stuff, I'm honest. Like, hey, y'all can go do that. I ain't gonna do that. Let me fix this for you. Hold on. I want you to see it. I don't know if you can see, because this is evil. You gotta see how evil this is. This should be viral, man, because people do dumb stuff. Oh, nope, I did it wrong. Hold on. Get my technology right. Which, by the way, I got a couple brothers coming on the show. I think they might come on the show next week. I got a couple emails. I'm gonna introduce y'all to a couple friends of mine who also don't take positions on things. Somebody said to me the other day, a friend came to me and said, you don't never take a position on nothing. Nah, I don't. I ain't going to, because there's too many lies. Why would I take a position and everybody lying? Okay, look at this right here. This crazy, this some tyranny. This is like. Got the baby out there. Hold on, let me go back to Did y'all see that? Oh, let me take it back. What? Is you crazy? Do y'all see? Hell no. Man, listen, I would never steal nothing. My father put me on something like that. And it's funny to people. Look, I can't watch the. I'm getting that's a little too scary for me. But this we live with crazy people, y'all. Crazy people live in China. They all over China. The Chinese government, they're doing good stuff, but crazy people all over China. All right, that's not what I want to talk about today. That kind of scared me, but it's just, it's interesting, like the psychology of looking at how we worship the wealthy. Like the wealthy, they come up with this stuff, and it's just like, why in the hell would you put a pool on the side of a hotel and people swim in it and they can die because the technology always eventually gonna break, and then people gonna make jokes of you, because you kind of hanging half out the glass, the water rushing past your face, you can't breathe, kind of like waterboarding. You know how they do the Americans. That's how Americans negotiate. They put water on your face and put a bag on your face, and they make you choke, make you feel like you're dying. It's kind of like that. I'm not trying to die like that. YouTube, if YouTube shuts down, I might do a few crazy things. I might bungee cord jump or do something like that, but not while YouTube is running. Oh, hell no. All right, we're going to get to the news. We're going to get to the news. We're going to get to the first news that I like. Crystal skulls. I don't know if y'all heard about the crystal skulls. I ain't going to talk about the crystal skulls, but crystal skulls were a thing. And they had that's an elongated crystal skull. Why am I talking about that? Because the elongated study came back. Remember, we're talking about elongated heads all over the world. They found these elongated heads, and they were speculating where they come from. They kind of looked like some aliens. They had the big long heads, and they found them. I think it was in Peru first. In modern archaeology, they came out and said, well, it's because they do headboarding. It's kind of like waterboarding, but it's not the same thing. But they do headboarding, and they make their heads big, wide, and long. And people said, okay, you answer that one. And then they found these elongated heads all over the world. Every single continent, they found people with elongated heads. Multiple cultures, even the Sumerians had people with elongated heads. And then they found out there were some that were obviously elongated, where they put the board. Let me show you. They put the boards. I know I got the picture. Here we go. They put the boards. They take the boards and they put them on the child's head. It's crazy. I know. Why would you do that to a child? It's crazy because you got to do it at young ages while the skull is soft, and they would elongate the head like that. It's kind of like giving a child a vaccine before it has an immune system in the age of 3. But that's a whole nother long story, which is why I don't get into. They always look back and they talk about how evil the people in the past were, but we do the same damn thing now. They always talk about how the Aztecs murderously bloody, throwing people off of pyramids, cutting their throat and all that. And meanwhile, what are we doing in Yemen and Congo and Africa and the Middle East and Palestine? We're doing the same damn thing. So that's why I don't ever listen, oh, well, back in the pagans. We some pagans now. Because in order to have an empire, you got to kill a lot of people. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. So, so they got all the data together. They realized that some of the skulls were obviously elongated. You could see the scars, and then others weren't. And so they did the DNA studies. And who was it? L.A. Marzulli and Brian Forrester and a whole bunch of them came together. They got all the samples and they sent them off for testing at Stanford University, a few other universities. Some of them didn't do the DNA testing. They said, oh, no, we couldn't test none of it. Nope, got no results back. So that's highly suspicious. But then others got the test results back. And most of the DNA was human. A lot of the DNA, I think it was like 9%. They couldn't, they didn't know what 9% of it was. It was just unreadable or just something like that. I don't really know what that means. And so they said, oh, so he's mostly human. They said, no, that's not what the Bible says. It's not what the Quran says. It's not what ancients say. The ancients and the Sumerians said. They said that they were genetic engineers and they mixed the monkeys, the primitives, with the chromosomes of the gods. And so that 9% could be completely something else because we got 98% of our DNA with monkeys. So a whole lot can be happening at 9%. But anyway, they did a DNA test. The test came back. And this is where I get annoyed because I don't like the extreme position on anything. But the one extreme position is it's aliens, and the other extreme position is it's just nothing. They just put boards on people's heads the way they get vaccines. And so I guess you got to buy the book, or you got to go buy the documentary. And I get it. L.A. Marzulli wants to make money, and maybe he's honest. Maybe he's just trying to make it aliens. I don't know, but I'm curious to see the results. But if you look at YouTube, Brian Forrester has a couple videos where he talks about it. The one interesting thing I thought that he said, and then I'll get to the regular news. Damn it. This is regular news. When things get released, you're supposed to talk about it. So I'm just talking about it. Here is the, what is that called? Y'all gonna get me in trouble. It is called it's a big word. It's the foramen magnum. So the foramen magnum on a modern human is centered, right? Because the way our skulls are balanced, it's centered. On a dog, it's way in the back because, you know, the snout and the bounce and the brain and the weight, so it's balanced. And the chimpanzee, it actually is in the middle. The interesting that they found on the elongated skulls, I just showed you in the first picture, it was all the way in the back. It was all the way in the back. So that being a thought as to perhaps the elongated head people had something else going on. The other thing that was interesting, I'll say, is that these, you know, this was in Peru. These were the Paracas people. And guess what they found? A lot of that DNA, it was from the Caucasus Mountains. How do I translate that? They found white people in Peru. It's like I said the other day, they found black people in Bolivia, and the big heads and everything they found. What do they call it? They had the stone statues with the big nose, and they knew they were African. They found Africans in Bolivia. Now they didn't found Caucasians in Peru. So what does that tell you? We were all over this world. We were a civilization that populated the whole world. We have no idea who these people are, how they circumnavigated the entire planet long before us. So let's keep going. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm not. Look at this, y'all. We're gonna get to the regular news now. Somebody done sprinkled cocaine all over the pyramids. Who would do a thing like that? I want to be over here. Let me shift. Somebody decided, you naturalistic, holistic people, somebody decided that it would be a good idea to sprinkle cocaine all over the pyramids. So they flew massive ships, cargo ships full of cocaine, and they just sprinkled it all out the back. As a sign to let people know the world is ending, because it shouldn't be snowing on the pyramids. But the reality is, yes, it snows on the pyramids. It snows in the desert, y'all. It gets down to freezing. It's not the end of the world. You know, we like to get to that place where the world is always ending. But it was a pretty picture. It was beautiful. I like the pyramids. So I like to have pyramid backgrounds. Besides the fact, you got to think about, and this last little conspired thing I'm going to say. No, it's not. I'll probably say some more. But the top of the pyramid. I was having a good conversation with a friend yesterday. We were talking about what happened to the top of the pyramid, right? Because the pyramid had a point, because people say the pyramids were power, they were power devices, and they made hydropower and all the caves underneath and how the water came in from the Nile, and it had a point on the top, and the sun hits it, and the moonlight on one side and the sun on the other side. And I know I messed the whole thing up. But the top of the pyramid is interesting. I have some theories. I won't say it now. I'll say it later. I want to talk about the news. So good news, y'all. Good news. Peace is breaking out, man. This is crazy. I'm gonna have to peace is breaking out. What the hell is America gonna do? Boy, Wall Street, you in trouble. Peace breaking out. So we'll jump on over into the news. Oh, somebody said, oh, brother Andrew talking about Pangea. I'm sorry, I didn't even see the comments. Pangea, yeah. And if we were alive, when was Pangea? So Pangea is the geological theory that all the continents were one continent at first, and we were all on this continent dancing and singing. Well, actually, we weren't. Just the dinosaurs were, right? We weren't supposed to be here, if I remember right. And it split apart. But how many millions of years ago was that? That was like a very long time ago, which is crazy. If we all actually were on Pangea, it split up, and then you had people on all the continents, then it makes sense, because then humans are millions of years old, and they've been here for a long time. It explains the walls and the pots they found in coal and the tools that they found in the rocks and all the circuit board they found in Russia and all these old things that they found that don't make sense with modern archaeology. But the problem with that is it means that human beings are millions of years old. And if we're millions of years old, the best thing we didn't invent was a wheel. And if the best thing we didn't invent was a wheel, brother Andrew, that would mean that there's high technology underneath these big sites and they can't let people know what's under them. So they're going to tell us the Egyptians made every damn thing. But that's another whole discussion. Whew. All right. Crystal, that's the first time you saw snow in the desert. Yeah, it happens all the time. If you go online and search, you'll find it. I think sometimes people will put the pictures out just to get, I think they like to get the Christians up and hooping and hollering, and the Muslims hooping and hollering. The end times are coming. These are the signs of the end, the apocalypse and everything. But this planet, it does what it does. It always in some rotation, some climates are always changing. Things are always happening. This is why I don't get on the left's agenda with the, oh, the world's gonna end, global warming, you know, we gotta stop the coal mines, but we gotta keep the wars going. Like jets don't have JP4 and they don't create CO2 and put it in the atmosphere, and tanks and bombs and all the other polluting the environment. So I like to stay firmly in the middle. And no, and it's near the extreme right. Yeah, we just gonna keep steaming ahead with the coal mines. We need petroleum. You know, we need the wars. You know, I'm just sitting here like, no, that's not. How about the climate is changing? The climate always changes. Calamities always happen. How about we prepare for them? You know, you could like make a house on some stilts. You can make houses earthquake proof. You can grow food in other areas not supposed to be, to make sure that you can feed everybody in case the planet magically flips over one day. But nobody listens to reason. Everybody wants to fight. The fun is in the fight, right? The entertainment and the fun is in the drama, not in just like logic and common damn sense that if we look back and human beings are millions of years old, bad things always happen. Maybe we should just prepare for that. Maybe we should have pantries. Maybe we should know how to make fire with a log or something. All right. Peace is breaking out though. Let's go over here. Where is peace breaking out? So first of all, America's pissed off because North Korea, number one, North Korea, is the Korean continent is finding peace. The North and the South Koreans are talking. Man, it's getting late. I don't know how much news I can show you, but I'll walk through it. So North Korea is talking. I'll post the links after the video. I like to post. I'll post the links so y'all can watch the whole full news report. You can post them to your friends and you can talk to them, because that's how this works. It's stupid if we just sit here and talk and we know what's going on and we have a perspective that's not extreme, and then you don't share it. So you want to share it, you can share my video if you want, but you don't have to. My mug is a little ugly. You know, you can, oh man, I did something yesterday. I done hit my head on a cabinet. Oh man, it hurt. You can share the news and talk about it. So I got this big ugly scar up here. I won't show you, but it was, yeah. This is why you're supposed to drink smoothies. In case you ever leave a cabinet door open and you come walking out real fast and you're getting old, you don't see the corner of the cabinet. I hit the cabinet. It was almost not a video the other day, yo. I hit that thing. I saw some stars. Y'all remember the cartoons? I saw some stars, blood coming down. But you know, you never know. It could be some E. coli on the corner of a cabinet. Might be a rusty nail in the garden. Might step on something. This is why you have an immune system. Always have your immune system going. Eat your green leafy greens. Drink your smoothies. When you grow a garden, eat food raw out the garden. Why? Because you never know when you're going to do something dumb and your immune system is going to have to take care of it. So you don't have to post my video, but I'll post the links for the news. So North Korea is finding peace. I'm going to post. I think I'm going to show you some of it. I got to show you some of it. Some of this is kind of funny. Man, I got to make some changes. It's always some technology issues. Sometimes I'm not prepared to do this. I get going, I rush up, I hit play, camera lights come on, blinding the hell out of me with these lights so I can go in here and talk about the 1%. Always messing stuff up so I can turn around and contradict myself and make a post and say it's not the 1%, it's us being stupid because we constantly put them in power every damn thing. Hold on, all right, here we go. That's why I posted this morning. I thought it was interesting. I was thinking about, like, everybody's constantly blaming the 1%. But the reality is, if we weren't dividable, if they couldn't divide us up, oh, you can't even see me. If they couldn't divide us up, our kids would have a future. If we had the intellects to not be dividable on dumb things that aren't facts, we had no problems. But we're dividable. We're stupid. We believe dumb things. We believe people who don't have facts, that fact-ish talking points. And we take those fact-ish talking points and we go argue with people who also don't know the facts. And they get mad at us. And it's emotional. So now we're fighting. So nothing ever gets done. The 0.01%, they get every damn thing. They make our kids slaves in the future because we're just stupid. But it's okay. It just might be evolution, y'all. Our brains haven't evolved enough to not join a left or a right or a Democrat or a Republican. Maybe maybe we need to go through another extinction, and the next thing that comes along might be a little smarter than us. But all right, peace is breaking out. Check this out. Peace is breaking out.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has unveiled a plan to open peace talks with the Taliban at a regional conference in the nation's capital, Kabul. Ghani said the Taliban could become a political party and contest elections, but in return it had to officially recognize the government and the Constitution. Civilian casualties have soared in recent months as the militant group responded to U.S. President Donald Trump's new foreign policies. However, on Monday, it said it was prepared to enter direct talks with the U.S. to find a peaceful solution to the conflict, whilst making no mention of any negotiations with the Afghan government.
Okay, so Afghanistan, they realize that you got to talk to people. They are ignoring America. Say, you dumb, you stupid. Your resume, it doesn't have peace nowhere on it, Washington and Congress and Wall Street, and they're going to talk. Why? So what they're going to do is they're telling the Taliban that y'all can be a political party. Now, of course, it means they're going to have to make some concessions, right? You can't be throwing rocks at people and all the dumb stuff that y'all do. But the good thing is we'll find out the truth. We'll find out, are they really this violent band of pagans running around beating and stoning everybody, shooting everybody, acting a fool, or is that a small percentage of them who have brains like we do, but the small percentage, the crazy people, maybe they just put them on television because we wanted to invade and grow poppy seeds. Maybe we just wanted to be drug dealers, so they put them on television to piss us off, to see, oh, they're doing this to women. And maybe it wasn't all of them. Maybe it was a small percentage of them. So it'll be interesting to see, will the Taliban become a political party and actually join in with the Afghan government and piss America the hell off, because now that means that we probably need to get our troops out of there. That might be a wonderful thing. So America angry about that. Congress don't like that. They'll probably drop a few bombs to break that up because they don't want nothing like that happening, because they're actually watching who do it? They're watching North Korea do it, because that's what's happening. So the North and the South are talking now. They're making friends, becoming butt buddies. They're rubbing each other. They're having a lot of fun, and now they're talking peace. And now South Korea doesn't really even want to talk to America anymore because they know America's all about war.
The U.S. State Department says its special envoy for the DPRK, Joseph Yun, will retire on Friday. The news came hours after President Trump again rejected talks with the DPRK unless conditions are met.
So Joseph Yun retiring, he's out of there. Like, I have no purpose anymore. What is my purpose? North Korea has nukes. South Korea wants to be friends again. They want to reunite. This gig is over. The jig is up. Or he knows that America's going to do their bloody nose strike and it's going to start a war, and he doesn't want to be around when that dumbness kicks off. So peace is breaking out there too. Where else is peace breaking out? Peace also has an opportunity to break out. I know this is horrible. I bet you they're meeting long hours at the Pentagon now. They're trying to figure out, what do you tell Democrats and Republicans to get them angry again? Because we need to find an excuse for another war. And okay, I'm not gonna go through it's too much, way too much. Peace is breaking out, but Israel, right? Because Netanyahu's in trouble. So it might be regime change in Israel. Then found out Netanyahu is corrupt, which is a good thing because he's a monster. And plus you have a lot of people in Israel who don't want to be fighting with Palestine. They want peace. And even the rabbi came out, was like, you guys aren't even Jewish, you're Zionists. And so we've been living in peace for hundreds of years. We can go back to living in peace. So peace might be breaking out in Israel too. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. But you think it doesn't stop at that, because now Saudi Arabia, they're talking about peace breaking out in Saudi Arabia. Peace breaking out, but there's some Saudis trying to break up a camel fight. This ever some camels fighting? Don't break up the camel fight. I don't know. I saw that one. I thought it was funny. I did a search for I did a search for Saudi Arabia break it up, and I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I got trapped. Because that's how my mind works. I get trapped in this stuff. I go online, start looking up stuff like, whoa, like they really some camel. You know how big a camel is? That's some dumb stuff. Saudis, okay, so Saudis, if you've proven you can break up camel fights, damn it, yes, you can break up. But peace might have a chance, y'all. We might be in a place where, by hook or by crook, the world gets fixed. So what are you talking about? Somebody says, Sharon talking about, I'm sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments. I was trying to rush through stuff. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk to people. Didn't Bush have a Taliban at his ranch years ago? Yes, he did, Sharon. What was his name? Bandar Bush. Bandar Bush was a friend of the Bush family. He was so close to the Bush family, they thought him to be friend. And after 9/11, when they killed all them Americans, they made sure, well, I don't know if Bandar was here, but it was a whole bunch of Saudis were here, and they all got on it when they made sure all Americans can't fly. Nope, none of y'all can fly. Y'all got to stay on the damn ground where you're scared. And they put the Saudis cushy on the airplane, gave them a little water, gave them a little wine, make sure they were okay, tuck them in, send some hookers in there, make sure they were good. And then they send them back in their Learjet back to Saudi Arabia, make sure they were nice and safe. Meanwhile, they're rolling out scanners to all American airports. They don't let us go any damn where. We getting patted down, people feeling all parts of our body in the damn airport. But that's how it always goes. And I was kind of thinking about that the other day. I find it interesting that, I don't know, I could be wrong on this one. I'm probably, I am wrong on this one. I think I am wrong, but it sounds good, so I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not gonna take a position. I'm just gonna say something. Isn't it interesting that it seems that the people who attack America, they're America's allies. They're the people that we send most of the money to, we send most of the weapons to, and we don't do a damn thing for Americans. You ever find it, like, think about Saudi Arabia. So we know most of the people who did 9/11 were Saudis. And so magically, we're friends with the Saudis. We will murder 20 million people and starve them in Yemen for the Saudis. We'll attack the whole world if Saudi Arabia needs us to. But we won't build a damn bridge in America for an American. We won't send any food or rice or health care. We won't do anything, but we're damn sure we'll take their guns too. And it's all, to me, it's all connected. Who else? Israel. Didn't Israel, aren't they the ones who shot that ship out there was a Navy ship in the Mediterranean? Didn't they shoot that missile and hit the American ship? Wasn't that it was a conspiracy theory that they found some truth in? And Israel would do everything for them. Damn it, we'll send them billions of dollars. We gave them nukes. They have enough nukes to take out the entire world. We send them guns and tanks. We make sure they don't have a real economy. Their real economy is the American slaves. Y'all going to work right now. What you doing right now? Your cubicle cotton, picking your cubicle cotton. That is Israel's industry. You working like a forced labor slave so they can send all the money over there to take care of them. And they attacked us too. Think about ISIS and Al Qaeda and ISIL and any other names they come up with, all of them shooting American troops, killing Americans. And we send them weapons, we send them guns. You're working for them. The biggest funder of terror is, unfortunately, America. Our Congress funds terror all day long, but they put other people in prison for funding terror. And so they're our ally. The more I think about it, I'm just like, the more whoever attacks America becomes their ally. How in the hell is it like, it's like a reverse false flag scenario where the government doesn't do it, but the enemy does it and they become the ally? It should tell you, these people are not on your side. I know last time y'all talking about, hope and change. You had the hope, but ain't a damn thing changed. Oh, America first this time. America first. Do you feel first? I don't feel first. The news doesn't say we're first, but what I see the allies are first. We need to change it. So, but I think, and again, it's not a presidential thing. It's just they say these things that they don't have the authority to actually say, because the people don't run the country and the presidents don't run the country. People we don't know run the country. But at some point, you have to think, damn it, maybe the starving people in America need food too. Perhaps, maybe. Liberty, thank you, Mary, but we don't have no liberty. Why? Because liberals hate liberty. Not the liberal people, but the liberal leadership. They don't want any damn thing to do with no damn liberty, because that's not the job. They're paid not to not do that. So, oh yes, the USS Liberty. Yes, Susan, thank you. Boom, that's why I love these people. These people will put just the facts out. You know what? If you ever want to seem like you're smart, just get a bunch of smart friends. Get a bunch of smart friends who question things. When you run into intellectuals, people that you don't always have to agree with, but people you know who vet facts and they think about things and they got critical thought and they can store that data in your head, and make those people your friends. Make those people and take those people with you. Hey, damn, where you go. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna take my friends with me because y'all just some smart people and you remember the details. USS Liberty. So that was the one where there was a missile attack, and I believe they found out Israel shot the missile. And so meanwhile, we didn't go to war with Israel. Oh no, hell no. They got 30 nukes from us. It just makes perfectly good sense, right? It makes perfectly good sense if your government does not care how you die. Oh, if Ty's watching, it's like, damn it, how many times you going to use my quote? I had to start I put in the comments, I didn't use that quote about 20 times, but it was just so spot on point. They don't care how you die, and we keep thinking they care how we die. We keep cheering this nonsense, and we can't come to some logical, realistic perspective that these people are not our friends. These people are the enemy. All right, so let me keep going. Oh, I got some time today. Yay! Okay, I can talk a little, look at some comments, and I can get through some other news. Oh! There was a report on I think it was CGTN. Yeah, CGTN. We have now hit a record level of billionaires, y'all. Record level of billionaires. Can we get everybody cheer? Everybody cheer. I mean, they're gonna get everybody pools. They're gonna get everybody pools, and so you can put a pool on the side of your house. They even got pools. Let me show you. They got pools for the house. Did I show you this? Look at this. They got pools for the house. So we have in the world now a record level of billionaires. Nigeria even has a large amount of billionaires, man. It's crazy. So I have to post it, but yeah, there's a report on CGT, and everybody's happy. Because this is all for us, y'all. This gonna be for us. The billionaires, they're gonna save us finally. So y'all can stop, voting, putting billionaires in as the president, multi-millionaires, give them all the money they can. If Obama's not a billionaire now, he's gonna be one soon. Why? Because we keep electing the wealthiest people in the world to run the world. So now we have a record level of billionaires. And to most people, like the real story is, most people will cheer this. Most people are excited about it. Most people worship these people. They want everything they have. They want a house like them. They want a car like them. They want all these because they somehow think, because they live in a forced labor society, that these people are happy. And they're not. They're the most miserable people in this world. And the evidence is they're willing to murder everybody for more. And that's what they're doing all over the world. Wealthy people are not happy people. People who find self are happy people. I know some people with money who are happy, but they know their happiness doesn't come from their wealth. It might be they had a job or they have a business and they do it because they're good at it, but they're well balanced and centered. And it's funny, like, and a lot of those people that I know, they don't drive expensive cars. They drive little Toyotas. One of them has a Civic. They drive basic, simple cars, and they're not big spenders and wealthy. Now, mind you, yeah, they got the ignorant car. They got the Lamborghini. They have the one that's in there, but they don't drive it. They'll drive it when they go to the country club or something. But they're more balanced people. Happiness doesn't come from money, but most people in our society worship it, which is why my friend I was talking about was attacked for talking about false flags. And I try to explain that they're not attacking you, right? When you say things and your family flips out, they're not attacking you. When you question this whole lifestyle that's built up on a worship of wealth, the acquisition of wealth, they go to school and they get all these degrees in college and they build up this whole mindset that I got to get mine, ignoring the fact that they're taking from others to get theirs, right? It's a competition. And so they build up this whole life of a glass house. And when you go in there and you say something true that makes it obvious that their life is based on bullshizzle, it's an attack on them. And so when you question the news and you question the standard narratives in this whole society that's built on lies, slavery, forced labor, and murder and famine and all the other things that we're finding out that it's based in, torture, putting people in prison, taking away human rights and civil rights and ignoring constitutions all over the world, doing war crimes. When you actually say something true, you're throwing a rock in their glass house, and it pisses them off, and then they'll rage at you. And this is exactly what happened to a friend of mine. And they raged. Even the daughter was raging, cussing her out because she said the word false flag. But this is what people do. They worship the billionaires. They worship the wealth. They worship the cars. They pretend they don't. But meanwhile, they're out there washing the car all Sunday and they ain't forgot what their wife looked like. That's not funny. That's not funny. That's horrible. But unfortunately, this is the world we live in. People live in these false sense of these false narratives where it's a good idea to look at the most sick, evil people on the planet and worship them. And meanwhile, so while peace is breaking out all over the world, what's America? What's America? America, what we up to? What are we doing?
Military action targeted the suburbs of Dar al-Zur province and fired at a gathering of displaced people. Another 29 were killed by similar strikes led by Washington.
So we killed a gathering of 24 people. We didn't fire some missiles, drop some bombs, killed 24 people because they were gathering in Syria. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing to keep the destabilizing going, to kind of fulfill the narrative. But when you say things like that, when you tell them that their presidents aren't for them, that their presidents aren't saying the truth, that they're lying, that their media is lying, they get upset at you. And so they're not attacking you. It's not you. You are shattering 20 years of their life, right? They went to school, they took the test, they got the degrees, they went to college, they got the, this and their philosopher degree and the bachelor's degree. They went to medical school. They did all these things. They became a professional. And now you, someone who they've known their whole life, maybe you didn't go to college. Maybe you didn't finish college. Maybe you only got a bachelor's degree, but you don't have the Lamborghini. You don't have the Benz. You don't have that BMW. You don't have the big house and the husband with the six-pack abadabbas who plays golf. And you don't have the beautiful wife. And because you don't have that, ain't no way you could know the truth because you failed in life, right? You failed. You don't have all of that. Because success to them is wealth. So no matter how much they say, they're lying. They live a lie, and they need that lie of a glass house to be kept. But the good thing about it is a glass house. And one little truth rock will break it. But anyway, my advice to her was just, listen, don't shatter. When you go in the glass house, you go, and I don't do this, so don't. I don't do it. Because I like fun posts. I like to post fun stuff. I have enough smart friends who know what's going on. So I can post something and they won't say anything. And if they do, they're going to get it. But you on your, but on your wall, just don't walk in the house with a big brick. Like she walked in the house with a false flag brick and just threw it at the window. Psh, the wall shattered, everything fell apart. And of course the people flipped out, the people lost in the narrative of today. But don't do that. Go in there with a little rock, get a little pebble. Walk in the house, throw a little, don't say false flag. Maybe you just say, ding, 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 ding. Maybe we don't know the truth when all of these things happen. Perhaps, maybe, are you sure that that's exactly what happened? Our government always lies to us all the time. Are you sure? Have you ever heard of the Bay of Tonkin? Are you sure? Sometimes crazy people online, they talk about these things called false flags. Have you ever heard of that? No, I ain't heard of that. What's that? Well, maybe you could research it and tell me what it is, because I have no idea. But I got a friend keeps telling me about false flag. Can you go research that and find? He sent me a link. This is what I do. This crazy person online sent me a link called false flag. Said 9/11 didn't make a whole lot of damn sense. Can you look at this and tell me what I should say to him? And this is how you trick him into watching something that makes some damn sense. This is how you trick them into getting some facts. And they come back and but if they feel that you're in the house throwing, their little glass house and you're throwing bricks, it's going to be a personal thing. They're going to fight you, but don't fight them. Like we talked about with the whole vaccines and synthetic drugs and everything and holistic living and natural medicine. Don't fight people. You don't have to anymore. There are enough other people who will fight them for you. People who, aren't, what's that saying? A prophet can't be sent to their own land. You know, your brother is not supposed to listen to you. Your sister is not supposed to listen to you say the truth of facts, because there's no way you know them. Your friend of 30 years, you're not supposed to say them, because there's nothing you know that they don't already know. They were there when you fell off your bike, got your boo-boo and cried, and they picked you up and carried you home. They know everything about you. You know, they were there when you were sick, wiped your butt. There's no way in the world that you could possibly know anything. It's your mama, it's your daddy. A prophet's not sent to their own land. So you send somebody else. But you got to trick them into watching the video, because they won't watch the video. My favorite vaccine video was the one, who posted, I forgot who posted that. Somebody posted that on my wall about 4 or 5 days ago. That's what you do. Let other people debate with the facts. You don't do it because you have a personal relationship with these people and you love them. And they love their lifestyles. They don't want to hear that they're slavers. They don't want to hear that they're complicit with murder. They don't want to hear that. You know, so you want to do that. Oh, Crystal nailed it. Health is wealth. Thank you, girl. Health is wealth. You know, but I think you say that, and you say it to these people here, and they're like, yeah, they get it. They know, right? Strong people, independent, not dependent on government. They can make their own choices. They don't need infrastructure. They can take care of their damn self. Health is wealth. I mean, wealth is health. Did I say that right? Health is wealth. Boom. Makes perfect sense. But you say that to somebody who's lost in the cubicle cotton picking business, they look at you like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, health and wealth. You don't know anything. You don't know anything because you don't have no money. So how you know about that? So you got to slowly introduce them to it. All right. Oh, something else was going on. I was interested in something. Look at this pretty picture, y'all. Look at this. And falling off of glass bricks. Look at this. There's some dolphins and whales playing. They just playing. Look at that love, y'all. Isn't it nice to get along with people? Isn't it nice not to fight with people? Isn't it nice to swim and jump over their heads and swim under their belly and tickle them a little bit? Can't we live like that? Can we do some of that? Community is everything. Community is everything. We don't get to have communities that are constantly fighting each other over silly stuff. Quote from a mom, the more they have, the more they got. Yeah. The more they have, the more they get. And I'm going to add to that. More money, more problems. That was a philosopher said that one. That was somebody, is that somebody mama? No, that was a philosopher. His name was Biggie. He was a philosopher. He said, more money, more problems. The more money you have, the more problems you will have. And I can tell you for an experience, lifetime of experience, that is 1,000% true. The more you have, the more you take from other people, which is what you are doing, the more you got to protect yourself from that. The more you're surrounded by people on your new level who want to take from you, the more you got to do to fight them off. This is how corporate America works in pyramid structures and corruption. And the psychopaths bubble to the top, so you're bubbling to the top with them, right? Like you're competing at higher and higher levels with psychopaths. They don't care about what they're doing to the world, the planet, or other people. They're just trying to have lives of acquisition of wealth. And the higher you get to the top, the more psychopaths you're fighting. The harder those fights are going to be, the more schizophrenic you get, the crazier you are. You become bipolar. You think everybody wants your money and wealth. Got to put a wall up around your house, put glass on top of the walls, and got barbed wire fence, and that's not enough. You need motion detecting, you need cameras, and the next thing you know, you're separating from your family. You think they want your money too, and you kind of get scared of them. And so the political parties come along and say, oh, we're going to take care of you, and we're going to protect you from the poor people, and you jump in that, and the next thing you know, you went from being a very logical toddler who just wanted to play with their mouth and put some snot in his mouth and have some fun, and now you're this adult professional complicit with all of the evil things on the planet because you got all this stuff you got to protect. I can promise you, the less you have, the happier you are. The most happy people I know are the people who have the least. But they found their life and the love in their life wasn't about the asteroid dust they could collect. Right? Because everything is asteroid dust. They're asteroid dust collectors. The cell phones, the watches, the cars, the houses, all of that came here on an asteroid a long time ago and it became dust. We're even asteroid dust. And so this whole life of like collecting all this asteroid dust that you don't get to keep, it's insanity. And it will drive you insane. If you are a sane person, it will drive you insane. You know what I teach my kids now? I don't even teach them to go to college. I don't. I don't teach them. I don't teach them not to go to college. That's not what I'm saying. I don't say these things to them because I want them to determine who they become. I don't want my prejudice and my indoctrination to form them. I got the weirdest kids on the planet. They question me all the time, and I'm okay with it because that's what I wanted. It's hard when you're raising kids to question everything. When you do that, they're going to question you. And sometimes it get a little annoying, little bastards. But it makes for a stronger future. Let me see, what else we got? Oh, that's some old news. I had some new news. Israeli Netanyahu, America killing 24 people. The glass bridge is breaking in China. Oh no, look at it, that China. Oh my gosh. And this is what bothers me. So it's one thing if you live in a country and all the leaders are just really silly and like don't make any damn sense and they like don't stand for anything our elders stood for or tried to teach us about leaving people alone, let them be, free will and all that good stuff. But then you got to go and you got to who's supposed to be the
Nearly
enemy.
400 Chinese soldiers stood at attention at a United Nations camp in Mali
Doing
to
good
receive
things.
a special honor.
能够获得和平荣誉勋章。
The Peace Medal of Honor represents the highest accolade to our peacekeeping efforts.
The medal recognizes contributions to human peace by UN peacekeeping forces.
Their dedication, their motivation.
So now China's getting more involved in peacekeeping. They're sending more soldiers for the UN peacekeeping forces, and they're doing this wonderful thing. Russia, they're trying to do that pipeline into Gupta to try to get the civilians who are trapped there by American tax dollars given to all the terrorists to keep them there in cages and houses as human shields, and Russia's trying to get them out. And so they got the peace thing going and they got in there and they started firing shells hours after, but they only gave them 5 hours to get it out. If I were Russia, like this is what I say. This is what I said before. Don't take it the wrong. No, actually take it the wrong way. This is how I mean it. When the CIA, Spetsnaz, special forces, all of these people, that's what they're for. When ignorance breaks out in an area, they're supposed to go in and do the peacekeeping. They have the weapons that we paid for. They have the training we paid for. They're supposed to be for the things that we want. And if we want world peace, we want this nonsense to stop, we could send them in, break up all the fighting factions, including ours, and pull people out. Because that's the right thing to do, you know? But other countries are doing the right thing while we're constantly doing the wrong thing. And it drives me nuts sometimes. What's that? Kimberly, grow your own garden, buy on sale. Yes, gotta grow your own garden. It always comes back to being strong. People don't make the links, being strong and being able to make your own decisions in life. Slaves don't get to make their own decisions. You might be a professional with all the degrees up the wazoo, but you got a mortgage, you got car payments, you got all these bills. You gave this lifestyle to your wife or your husband. They got to keep it up. So you're locked in. You are a professional slave, right? Like, let's just call it what it is. You know, if you want to be strong and you want to be empowered, you have to be able to take care of yourself and your family and be able to speak your mind. That's what a man is. A man is not a punk that's lost in a professional lifestyle that can't fend for his family without supporting the most evil people on the planet. That's not a man. That's a professional slave. And that's not a woman. Strongest creatures on this planet are women. I don't care what anybody says. How do I know? Because women have dealt with the greatest evils this planet could cough up. Think back in time. Like think about the whole hashtag Me Too thing. Think about what women deal with now that we know about. And we don't even know it all. Go back in 1,000 years, 2,000 years. Go back as far as you want where women weren't even cattle. Good thing about the Taliban, they think women are worth cattle. And it's probably not all the Taliban, but see where I'm going. Parts of Africa, they believe that too, and other continents. But go back before women were even cattle. Imagine the most horrible things done to human beings, and they made it, and they're still here. Some didn't make it. Raped, killed, murdered, shoved in a hole, whatever. Strongest creatures on this planet are women. But you don't get to be strong unless you're empowered. You know, they were empowered with abilities that are probably superhuman to deal with the crap that came back then. We need to be empowered today to deal with the crap we got to deal with. And the first step is not being complicit with the nonsense that's going on. Need peacekeeping, United Nations, and Palestine. We need a whole lot in Palestine, Lynn. It is beyond acceptable on any level for any human being anywhere on this planet. And they're not going to do anything about it. So my hope for, in Israel right now is that they catch Netanyahu in this corruption, they throw his butt out, and they get somebody in who has a little bit, just a little bit of Jewish in them, just a little bit of Jewish love in them. I know I say things that you don't understand, but people, you got to process that religions are about love. And when you see people in most of these religions that are doing things that are not based in love, they hate their God. They're not actually a part of the religion. So hopefully they get Netanyahu out and they actually get somebody that's either Jewish or sensitive or even listens to anything that these religions talk about in terms of love and leaving people alone and getting along, and actually brings about some sort of peaceful conditions. So I'm hopeful with that. Kimberly saying, I grow my herbs, but I need to grow more food this spring. You got to grow. Yes, Kimberly, you should grow more and give it away. Building community to me has always been a garden, because when you grow too much food and it gets beyond what you can, you start giving it away to your neighbors. When you give it away to your neighbors, you make friends of your neighbors. When your neighbors become your friends, then they talk and they agree. And when the left or right or somebody comes along and tries to get them to side against you or your rights, to say, no, I'm not going to side against why would I side against my neighbor's rights? That's stupid. It's in the Bill of Rights. If I side against my neighbor's rights, then all the rights are up for grabs. And that's what people don't talk about. I get in trouble sometimes. People are like, oh, you in gun control, you gun control. Listen, I'm not interested in you taking anybody's rights. I'm not. And damn sure not for the 0.01%. Not interested, right? We have a Bill of Rights. And if 1% of one of those rights in the Bill of Rights is editable, is negotiable, every last right is negotiable. We've had bad things in our past like slavery, which I don't want to be negotiable. Because you're not taking me peacefully. It's just not going to happen. But none of the rights are negotiable. You have to stand up for your neighbors. And so when you have strong communities, you actually can have strong families. You don't have to agree with the right. You can think the founding fathers were nuts and crazy and whatever, and that's okay. But they wrote a good Bill of Rights. And in the future, like I said, when we actually leave each other alone and we have more of a peaceful society, all the guns gonna go away anyway, right? So why are you worried about it? Don't worry about it. Don't jump on the little 1%. They always have these little ideas, right? And the way I see it, the little 0.01%, how they tell you, oh, well, if you say something about a false flag or you don't say gun control, you must hate children. The way I view it, if you want to keep everything the damn way it is now, talking about gun control, keeping these kids getting murdered, you don't hate children. Think about that, right? You want change. We all want change. Our whole society is just metastasized. We are one big nasty funky tumor. We need some light therapy. We need some exercise. We need some oxygen or aeration, something to break that tumor up. We need something to change. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You're old enough to know that. I don't know why sometimes we have to have these conversations, because you know better. That's why I don't. But like I said, my friends, I don't get into discussions. I'll post something. I'll try to talk a little bit, but when I see that you're just trying to argue, I have more important things. I got basil. I was planting basil yesterday. I have 72 slots of basil I got growing. I have important things to do. I don't have time to explain to you that violent people aren't there for you to help you. Violent people don't care how you die. If we didn't have the guns, the drug cartels would take over America. Yes, Lynn, and that's another important thing, right? Because it's not just the government. People say, oh, you're going to protect yourself from the government. No, I don't think you will. It gives you a chance, a moment for the drone just make everything disappear with your assault rifle. That's not the point. The point is that when poor people can take care of themselves, not just grow food, but actually take care of themselves and actually speak their mind, really good things happen in that society. When poor people can't talk because only the 0.01%, they have all the guns, they have all the food, they have all the water, they own all the houses, and you pay taxes to them. You don't get to say a damn thing. You're a dependent. Dependents don't get a voice. Children don't rebel against their parents successfully. They become street kids. All right. So yes, I'm not for that. I mean, and like we talked about Mexico, one of my friends is, from Mexico, super anti-gun person. I'm just sitting here like, you realize if Mexico had guns, everybody in Mexico would be happy right now. If America didn't screw their country up, if America didn't bully their government into having this war on drugs that made cartels powerful enough to buy tanks and jets and take over the government, take over small towns, and it's not like that all in Mexico. I got cousins who live in Mexico. It's a lot of places that are quite fun in Mexico. Beautiful, beautiful. But if people can say no to bad people, good people can say no to bad people, good things happen, right? But when you can't say no to bad people, bad things always happen. So if you look around, here's an example I have for you. If you look around and you saying something, I don't want to talk about gun control. I don't. But it's unfortunately, that's what's in the room. If you say gun control and you look around and everybody else who's saying that is evil, gun control. The left is saying it, gun control. The right saying it, gun control. If everybody around you is saying gun control and they're 0.01% and they have all the guns and they got bodyguards with lots of guns and they shovel guns all over this planet, you might be on the wrong side of this thing. You might just be. Doesn't mean you gotta love guns. It doesn't mean you gotta join the NRA. It just means that we've been played. Like we always get played. Drug cartels work with the government. Mary, yes, they do. And it's a proven fact. It is a fact of homa. I don't know who said that. Somebody said that a long time ago. But it is a proven fact that because if you look at the CIA funneling drugs in, like, you look at the cannabis industry, you won't get me talking about that, but there's a lot of good people in it. And there's a lot of cartels that are just washing names and faces and putting people up in front of, puppet businesses to get their licenses to keep doing the drug deals that they're doing, right? So that's how it works. Unfortunately, it's just corrupt government, cartels, and you got a few people. That's why I'm not in the cannabis business. I'm not going there. I have no interest in working and taking customers from people who murder people. That would be really stupid of me. So I grow mint. Mexico is overrun with drug dealing cartels, right, Lynn? And that's why nobody wants to stay in Mexico. That's why you got that mass migration. People trying to get the hell out of Mexico because we destroyed their country. And it makes perfectly good sense. So, I don't understand why anybody is like angry with people migrating to America. They're supposed to migrate to America because there's freedom there. You can have a job there. Besides the fact that America's the one who destroyed your land, they're the reason why the price of tomatoes are like priced above what you can actually buy them for because they're all being sent back to America, through trade agreements and all this. In multiple ways, we screwed them. But that's the problem. You get people who live in these glass chasing wealth lifestyles agreeing with these ideas because they put a face on a person, on a politician in front of them that they trust instead of questioning. And so they got to question everything. So it's an interesting thing. And I wanted to check this real quick, but it's kind of funny to me. I am looking at this is why I know, when you're saying some truth, when they're censoring. That's how you know they're saying truth. And I'm going to end it on this one. But I'm looking at comments on multiple devices. We were looking at this yesterday. And I see different comments from different people on different devices. That's why I'm not mad at censorship. Because when they try to censor you, that's when they know you're saying something that might be effective. That's when you know that you're getting close to where you're supposed to be. When your enemy doesn't care about you and they're not even paying attention to you and they're just going steaming ahead in their own way, you're nowhere near the radar. You're nowhere near hitting home. When people start talking about stop fighting, we got bigger fish to fry. We don't have time to be in tribes right now. We need to be one tribe and we need to fix this world. And they censor people like that. That's how you know you're on it. And that's why more people got to speak up. So I got a few brothers coming on, hopefully some sisters too. If you want to start live streaming, kind of speaking some truth of building a community or whatever, let me know. Drop me a PM in the inbox. I'll do anything I can to help you. We don't need leaders in any of this. We need people to speak. When a majority of people are all leading each other, we can do something with that, man. We got something we can go with. But when you have just a few people who are talking about some truth and nobody else is like really stepping up, then we got a problem. So if you got a big mouth, if you got a big mouth, and you don't mind being shoved in a hole, waterboarded, you know, whatever, because they're going to come for us, boy, they're going to come. But hopefully, you know, people stand up when they can't get us all. Let me know. I'll do anything I can to help you. I'm only speaking on here. Other people help me to step up a little bit. So, but we have to get to a point where we become a community again. And we only become a community again if we learn how to talk to each other like adults. We go back to being a bit wiser. We realize that the enemy isn't the 0.01%. I mean, they're playing Monopoly with us, and they're just kicking our butt at the game. The problem is the game, not the problem the person who owns all the properties. The problem is the game. The game has to change. And the only way the whole board game gets changed is if people, the masses, stop fighting over silly things that never changed anything. So we need to work to stabilize our communities. We need to stabilize our relationships. If you're still fighting with somebody over the election, you need to reach out to them and shut that down. Peace is breaking out around the world. My God, peace is breaking out. North Korea, Israel, Afghanistan. The American wars are coming to an end. They're being shut down. The people are realizing that America is not a peace broker. They're a war broker. That's how they make their money, on war deals. And so the great thing about peace breaking out, outside of people not raping and murdering and all the crazy stuff that's going on, is the military industrial complex will no longer be buying our government. And when the military industrial complex no longer owns the Democrats and the Republicans, it means the Democrats and the Republicans might actually have a say in something again. That's why this is all connected. And your little silliness fighting with people online over things that you don't know is the biggest problem that we have. People need to start talking again. And once we actually have Americans in government positions, and they can be Democrats and Republicans, I'm okay with that. But when they actually speak for themselves, then we can actually change our society back to looking out for people, back to respecting human rights and constitutional rights and civil rights, and leaving people alone. But in the current format, when you're fighting with people over land that's not yours, things you don't own, facts that aren't anywhere near your intellect, you're the problem, not the 0.001%. Anyway, this is Gerard. I gotta go. Y'all have a wonderful day. Love y'all to death. Hopefully peace does break out everywhere, because that's exactly what we need. But make sure you break out peace in your community with your family, and you stop being ignorant, because that's step one. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.